What's up, everyone? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Get in here, get in here, get in here. I'm so glad that you were able to join us this evening for the first annual Denim Day T. Pearson Experience, a day of shine. Only the resilient survive. And for those of you that may be asking, well, what is shine? Shine is support, healing, nurturing, and empowerment. Okay? Empowerment. We're here for our sisters, we're here for one another, and we're here to just stick together. Okay? So let's get started with today. So, first, we want to thank our sponsors that have supported us throughout planning this whole thing together. Our Coco Life Black, our 904 Wellness Avenue, Writings on the Wall, New Life Resource Solutions, Don't Ignore the Scars LLC, Candid Convos with my girl T and Kia, Brandy Elizabeth and Associates, that's me, Zoe Hart and Shelly Petney. So we want to thank all of our sponsors, all of our sponsors. So I wanted to share something with you all to kind of set the tone and kick off tonight. So if you just bear with me while I read this poem, and it's called They Can No Longer Hurt Me. Blood boiled in every vein, like a flicker in every flame. Tears streaming from my eyes, cause my life is built on lies. Overpowered by my fears, so I kept quiet for many years. The secrets tore me up inside, with a twisted mind and arms tied. They took turns, so I buried the burns. I grew up thinking it was my fault for every rape and every assault. The dark memories still haunt my brain, and I still feel like I'm the one to blame. If only someone could have listened to the screams and the pleas, maybe I could have ended it all and still be able to stand tall. But enough is enough. Tonight, I will stay tough. And maybe for once, they will see that they can no longer hurt me. They Can No Longer Hurt Me by Sabrina. So now we'll have a little bit of housekeeping from Nicole and Anika.
Hello, everyone. I'm Anika. I am one of the sponsors with this amazing program today, and I'm excited for you all. Um, I'm here to just let it all be known that we're having this conversation and really wanting to encourage everyone to share your truth. And as the poem that was just read, lies experiences leads to shame, right? And that shame often leads to feelings of abandonment and suffering on your own. And so this space creates the time for you to use your voice, find your voice, and be encouraged by others that are using their voice so that you no longer suffer in shame. I think I'll turn it over to Nicole.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Nicole Fogg, and I'm a clinical social worker. T and your team, thank you for inviting me to participate today. As Anika said, I'm going to be here as support for anyone that feels that they need some help. If they're triggered today listening to some of these stories, I appreciate the invite. Sexual assault is a very near and dear subject to my heart, and I just look forward to hearing some of the stories and helping whomever needs help as much as possible. So thank you for inviting me here today, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're muted, Brandy.
Oh, here we go. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for taking time just to be here to just be of a support for everyone. So now we will have a guided meditation from Shelly.
Hey, folks, sorry about that. Listen, I got some technical difficulties on my side. I'm about to pull it back. Sorry, we're going to start back over from the top. This is Shelly, and please let me know if you guys can hear it or not. Let me see if I can adjust the sound or something. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Healing is so important to the healing journey. Hi, my name is Shelly Petney, and I'm a trauma-informed yoga and mindfulness instructor. One of the things that I wish every trauma survivor knew is that trauma doesn't just show up in the mind and in our thoughts and our memories, but it also shows up very much in our whole body. Our body is a container for our every experience, and trauma symptoms manifest in the body. Our body holds all that the mind forgets, and we have to heal as a whole person. And so body-based modalities for healing is so important to the healing journey. To support ourselves in building a container that is full and resourced and supported and nourished is so imperative. So I just wanted to take a little bit of time to offer some practices to help support your healing today. And I offer you to practice to whatever degree you're comfortable with. And thank you for your time. So let's begin just by finding your own comfortable shape to come into, and maybe bringing your hands together at your heart center and just bringing the palms to rub together, building a little bit of heat between the palms. Maybe taking a couple cleansing breaths, making some space in the lungs for this practice. Inhaling through the nostrils, exhaling out of the mouth. Great. And then we'll take the palms down to the lap and maybe roll out the neck, loosening up any tight muscles. We hold a lot of stress here in the neck. And then we'll inhale, bringing the arms up, reaching up tall. And we'll exhale, drawing into a twist, twisting off to one direction, letting the eyes open and just looking at what you see here. So sometimes we not only have to tell ourselves that we are safe, but embodied safety is also showing the body that right now, in this moment, I am safe and all is well. So looking around your surroundings, maybe noticing some color and light, some shade and dark. Taking a big breath in, bringing the arms back up, feeling the lengthening in the body, and exhale, twisting off to the other side. Same thing, exhale, letting the shoulders drop down. Feeling the breath move, maybe the ribs expand and contract as you breathe. The expansion of the spine, the rootedness as you're lengthening up and rooting down all the space in your body that you're creating. And letting the eyes just glance around. And this is a practice of orienting, of noticing your surroundings, of creating this embodied safety, feeling into this present moment, showing the body that you are safe right here, right now. It can be very helpful in moments when maybe you're not feeling safe, maybe you're not feeling grounded. We'll inhale, bringing the arms back up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. bring the hands down to the lap. And then a couple sun breaths. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Great, and here, let's bring the hands to overlap at the heart. And if this isn't comfortable for you, you might draw the hands, one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, and just feeling into your breath here. So the hand at the belly, this is really important. Our belly breathing is so important. The belly, you can even bring both hands down to the belly. This is where the biggest part of our lungs is when we're feeling anxious, when we're feeling overwhelmed, we're feeling triggered by anxiety, by stress. We want to send our breath low into the lungs. This is how we can ground. This is how we can shift more deeply into the rest and digest part of our nervous system, the relaxed state of our nervous system. Inhaling, taking big breaths, allowing the belly to expand, and lowering the belly down in toward the spine, smoothing the breath out. And just like a balloon expanding on the inhale, exhale, belly draws in. With time here, just even a few moments, a few breaths, your heart rate starts to lower, your blood pressure starts to lower, you start to initiate that relaxed response in the body. You start to communicate to the brain that you are well and safe. It starts to shift you from that stress state of your nervous system to the relaxed state of your nervous system. Right, so even just noticing in moments of stress, are you breathing into the chest? This is where we breathe when anxiety is high, when stress is high. And softening the chest, softening the ribs, sending the breath down low to the belly. This is called diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing. Expanding the belly on the in-breath. No straining or rushing. And softening the belly in as you exhale. Great. And then for the last thing we'll practice today is just a little short meditation. So feel free to adjust your seat or lay down or come to standing, whatever's comfortable for you. An option to bring the hands overlapping at the heart here. You might close the eyes or soften the gaze or leave them open, whatever feels most safe and comfortable in your experience. Take a breath in when you're ready, a nice breath out. Maybe letting out a little sound, release a little stress, make some space. And in this moment, just taking a moment to search in the body for a sense of hope in the body. Hope in the body, searching for any inkling of hope in the body, noticing where you might sense that, any location in the body where you feel hope. Maybe it feels small, contracted, ambiguous. Maybe it feels big and expansive and spacious. And then noticing, can you also sense into any resistance, any impulses to resistance to that hope? And where do you feel that resistance in the body? And can you breathe into that? You may bring the hands together at your heart, maybe the Chin drops down toward the heart center, and just honoring and holding some space for yourself here, for the wholeness of your humanity, our ability to hold both our hope and our resistance together. You're just honoring yourself, offering some self-compassion, some grace as you embark in your healing journey and human on during this courageous journey. The vastness of the human experience, all your survival tools that you already have within you. Taking a breath in and out together, all that are here practicing together. And then one more breath in and out just for you. And I thank you so much for your time.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful meditation time with our girl Shelly. Definitely for calming anxiety, getting a peace of mind, coming back to center. Because, we have traumatic experiences sometimes and we can't always come back from them mentally and emotionally. It takes time. But practicing meditation has been very helpful. I know for myself, suffering from anxiety, but has been very helpful to bring yourself back to center, kind of relax and reset and, get it all back together. So we definitely enjoyed the meditation time with Shelly. So please, 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 if you feel triggered in any way, you just need someone to talk to, you just in a space where you just don't know, we have a wellness room. You can check the link in the chat and you can join the wellness room. And we have some clinicians there that are available to speak with you, to talk with you, and to walk you through whatever you may be feeling and assist you. So please definitely take advantage of the wellness room. So again, our trigger warning, we've had it out there. It's on the bottom of the screen. If you feel triggered anywhere, if you're easily triggered in any way, viewer discretion is advised. If you feel like you really need to be here and you really want to continue with the experience, I suggest bringing a buddy, getting a friend or someone to come along with you, to kind of sit with this through you, sit with you through this. So together, So definitely recommend that. Now, as we turn into the next phase of the conversation, I will tell you the T. Pearson experience is raw and it's uncut. There are no words that won't be said. There are no lines per se that won't be crossed that typically are not allowed to be crossed. So questions are going to be asked and answers are going to be given raw and real. That's the platform that's here. So many times people have been shielded from expressing what happened to them or being able to share what happened to them because they're always being hushed and shushed from, oh, don't say that, or, don't talk about that, or you shouldn't say that. Well, this is not the place for that. So no earmuffs allowed. So if you're not ready to hear those type of things or experience those type of things, then maybe this is not the place for you. But I put it out there and, we hopefully that everyone is ready for the conversation that's up ahead. So now I introduce you to T. Pearson from the T. Pearson Experience, as well as Nyla and Misha. What's up? What's up, ladies?
Of course, I
How's
forgot to
everyone
take
feeling?
myself off mute. Of course, of course I did, right?
Forgot
Hey,
to take
listen,
it off mute.
I transparency. Listen, you did it good, sis. You gave them disclaimers, and
Yeah,
either they're gonna want to listen to it or they're gonna go over to the Zoom link. Go over to the
yeah,
Zoom link. If you need some support, some real shit, like we're gonna talk some real shit today. And so
yeah,
if you need some support, we got some clinicians. We got Anika Tillery. We got She's from Writings on the Wall. We have Nicole Fogg from 904 Wellness Avenue. We got Nicole Lee from Life Resource Solutions, New Life Resource Solutions. And they over there on that Zoom link waiting for you ladies, waiting for you gentlemen. If you need any kind of support, it's free today. Okay. They donating their service today. Okay. Now after that, we don't know. We don't know. But for today, gone on over there and get your mind together. In honor of today is National Denim Day. And so thank you, sis. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go in the background. You did the damn thing with that poem. They gotta make me a little vest. You know what I'm saying? You got me a little vest. All right, sis. Let's see you in a little bit. Appreciate you. Listen, I want to show this shirt too. It says, "Who are you?" On the back, it says, "I am a survivor." This is from Miss Angela Robinson. You know what I'm saying? She's the person I did the book launch for 2 Sundays in a row, but she's donating a portion of her sales to a wonderful organization that is helping survivors. So, who are you? Feeling like the right shirt to wear today because we are survivors, and I appreciate you, Nyla. I appreciate you, Misha, for reaching out, man. When I put that need out there, you guys jumped in and was like, "I'm ready." So y'all got your seatbelts on.
Buckle
Hey,
up.
hey, let's get the people what they have, give them what they want. So first up, let's talk about who we are. Nyla, tell the people a little bit about yourself and why today was important for you.
Okay. My name is Nyla Ford. I'm 32 years old. I am a wife and a mom of a daughter, soon to be 2 daughters. Today was important to me because I have sexual abuse on both sides of my family. It's been a long generational curse in my family. Pretty much every woman in my family has been abused. And I'm going to make sure it's not going to happen to my daughter. So I'm going to say what needs to be said. I'm going to do what needs to be done.
And she said what the hell she said. Hey, Misha, why are you here today, baby?
Hey, I'm Misha Mills. Misha D. Mills, the experience per my craft. I'm a hairstylist, but I am here today because for a part of my story, which I wished somebody would have did for me, was just be honest, be open, and let somebody know what was going on, so that way there could have been, some healing and some things done before now here in my 30s, and I'm like, oh. I think I'm supposed to have my stuff together, but I have this thing on my back that I've carried that I didn't know at one point how to handle it. So this day is definitely important for me just to share, show, and to offer, that people don't have to suffer in shame, that there's many people who look like you, who wear the same hat, maybe even have that same label associated with their name. So that is why I'm here. And why this day is important.
Hey, and I appreciate all that. And why am I here? So I'm gonna read you something. You let me know if it's a truth or if it's a myth. Sexual abuse will happen, and I can't do anything to stop it. Is that a myth or a lie? I mean, a myth or truth? What do y'all think, audience?
Oh, okay. Asking the audience.
Yeah, we asking them. We want them to get engaged. I'll read it again. Sexual abuse will happen, and I can't do anything to stop it. Is that a truth or a lie?
Let's see, we have an answer. We got an answer on there. Okay.
Y'all have it on y'all watch parties. Peace and blessings to you.
I'm trying.
All right. Somebody said a myth. Okay.
Myth,
Okay.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And it is. It's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And like they old people say, a lie from the pit of hell. Right? Right. There we go. Lies you tell. Exactly. So educated parents and caregivers can significantly reduce the likelihood that their child will be abused. And all they got to do is take some action, stay informed, learn how to prevent it, recognize it, and respond. Somewhere along the line, some of that shit ain't happening for us.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere along the line, it didn't happen for us. And so that's why I'm here today with my sisters, so that we can share a conversation that is affecting all of us. Statistics tell us that it's 3 of us here, but we know it's a lot of y'all watching, or a lot of you that should be watching, or will probably not watch because it sounds too familiar. Whatever way it is, we're here for you. It doesn't matter your sexual orientation. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't anything doesn't matter, because the reality of it is that statistics made us family. And so, as a family today, we're going to have a conversation so that we can begin to heal. For those of you that may have followed me for quite some time, you know that I've kind of been on this healing journey. Let me stop saying, my grandmother called me this morning and said I say too damn much. And so that was her constructive criticism. So let me try not to say too much tonight. So, with that being said, let me try and figure some other out words. It is important for folks to know that today we're going to show the world that we have suffered so that we can serve. We've all used our tragedies, our traumas in ways to uplift others, uplift ourselves, and oftentimes wearing a mask to make it seem like everything has been okay with us. So we're going to pull the mask off today. We're going to have these real conversations, and we want it to be interactional. So you guys are here with us on StreamYard or Facebook or YouTube. Hey, YouTube. So definitely feel free to drop some comments. Ask some questions. For some reason, I don't know why I'm not able to see the comments from all of the threads. But if you want to go over to Facebook to the T Pearson Experience and drop your comments in that thread, yeah, I think it'll show up that way. So technology is trying to stop us today, but we're not going to let it stop anything we got going on. So, Nyla, I'm going to come back to you first, sis. Talk a little bit about your trauma, if you will, that got us here. So this first part, we're going to talk about the pain. So get into the nasty, gritty shit that that you want to as much as you want to, so that the people will know why you fit into this damn family statistic with us.
Okay, yeah. So I was sexually abused by a cousin at the age of 4. So basically, I was sleeping over my aunt's house, and he offered to read me a bedtime story. So he told me I had to sit on his lap, and then he proceeded to use me to pleasure himself until he was done. At the time, I really blocked it out. I didn't remember it. But starting in high school, I started to get really angry. So I had to see a counselor. And while in a room with her, she uncovered this. And so we set up an appointment for me to finally tell my mom about it and, deal with it. And when we did, my mom unfortunately said, don't be dramatic. And then that same time period, my sister was also abused by a cousin. And she believed her. So I always wrestled with that. Like, why am I not believable? Maybe I am being too dramatic and downplaying whenever I'm hurt because of that. It took years of me going to therapy, joining support groups, and doing my own healing work to discover, no, you were not being too dramatic. You were 4 years old and somebody violated you.
I'm glad you saw my mouth moving. So let me back up for the people that may not have understood what you just said. So something happened to you. You went to your parent, your mom, about it. You were told that you were being too dramatic, and therefore nothing ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And so how did you get to therapy? What did that look like? Who got you there?
So at the time, I was a member of Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church, and randomly one Sunday they did an altar call for anyone who's been sexually abused to come down. And I finally got the courage to go down, and I saw that it was like hundreds of people down there. And they announced that the very next week there was going to be a support group. So I started going to that group, and that group encouraged me to go to individual therapy. Got you.
So self-healing. You took yourself down the journey of healing. Listen, I hear that. So I'm gonna save my question. I'm gonna go ahead. I asked my question. You can go ahead.
So why it's important to me now to definitely get healing. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and I'm teaching her consent. And it's funny because even like right before I was hopping on this broadcast, she pooped. So I had to change her diaper, and my husband's trying to help me. And he was like, just trying to do it quickly because he knew I had to get on this. And I had to teach him like, no, even with her, I'm teaching her consent. My 2-year-old daughter knows to say yes or no to somebody touching her vagina. Like she will say, no, don't touch my vagina at 2 years old. And I do that because I was 4 years old when it happened to me. So I need her to know that her voice is powerful, even at this age.
Hey, and that's a whole damn word. That's a whole word. Misha, what's up, baby?
Hey.
Why you here today? What led you to be my damn sister in statistics?
What led me to be your sister in statistic was at the age of 13, I was molested by my father. And so with that, it was something for me, I actually didn't tell anyone besides, I did tell one person at the time, and that at that time that was my best friend at the time. And I told her, and I just remember us sitting in the room, crying, and her asking me, well, what did I want to do? And I was just like, I don't know what to do. And wanting to tell my mother yes, I didn't feel that it was the appropriate time because of what I saw that she was going through. One, even me getting with my father, I had been with my mother, from birth until 13. And my mom placed me in the care of my father because of her own like financial issues and discrimination that she was going through within her work. And so because I have that compassionate heart, I saw that and I realized that and I said, I don't want to make things harder for her. I'd rather fight this out, do what I have to do, and make things happen for myself the best possible ways that I could. Which led me to me and my father. We would get into fights, and I would my mom would, get called, and she'll wonder, well, why y'all fight? Why are y'all always fighting? And I never had the opportunity to tell her, well, Mama, we were fighting because this man is keep trying to do me, like, and I don't want to be done by this man, like, this is just crazy. And I'll never forget, having to go and take a pregnancy test, like, like, really? Why am I taking a pregnancy test?
And your dad was the potential father.
Yeah, it would be my father. Like, it's definitely a point in my life. I'm just like, wow. And so that's what led me here. And like I said, I didn't tell anyone. The only person who knew at the time was one friend. And she recently, in the years, had told me that she did tell her mother. And so, per my own understanding, I can't say other people's stories, but per my understanding and just what I see the situation as, what it is, because that woman had relations with my father, she didn't want to put herself into jeopardy by possibly exposing him.
Ain't that some shit?
Yeah. And so, which once again, people in their circumstances, because when I even think back to her circumstance, in and out of work, needing money, my father's a whore, he's like, I pay for the pussy if I want to. So, he waved $500 in your face, he waved some tissue, you need some tissue, then you busting it down for my daddy. And so for me, once I found that out in this year, all of that in the years that I found that, I was just like, well, it actually makes sense. Things that you might not want to say, but I can read, my discernment can read through the lines. And so, I am just happy to be at a place where I am, going through this thing and just in a place where I can be open and vulnerable and share these things to my, to the people I see every single day, my guests, my clients, people I walk on the street with. Hell, I just sitting on a plane Sunday and having a whole full-on conversation with people. So, being that vessel, use me, guide me, be that angel to somebody else, like I said.
Hey, listen, and I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you just being here and just being transparent with me, you and Nyla. Why is today important for me? So hold on, let's make sure we get this out here. Listen, here's the wellness link. Let me sit up. Here's the wellness link. Click on it. If you've heard anything that's triggering to you, we want to let you guys know that you don't have to suffer silently. All right. You don't have to be re-triggered silently and alone. Click that link. We have folks that's over there that is ready, clinicians that is ready to assist you guys. And it's not going to be a Zoom with a whole bunch of people in there. They're going to break out little breakout rooms. So it'll be just you and the clinician in a room privately for you guys to be able to talk about whatever you may need to talk about as a result of you guys watching us talk about our trauma. So why is today important to me? Today is important to me. And for those that don't know my story, just a little piece of it. I started being molested kind of like Nyla at 4 years old. It was by a family friend. Not even a family friend. He was kind of like a cousin through the ghetto hookups of family connecting and the cousin and the nephew and all of them kind of related. But he took my innocence from me. I told my mom, it was from like 4 to 7. When I got to about 7 is when the penetration started. And I went and told my mom. She was a drug addict and she was in her own addiction. She closed the door on me and sent me back in the room. And what do you think happened? I got punished for snitching. And so that let me know that I could never say anything again. And so I got hushed until I was gang raped. I think I was like 11 or 12 at knife point by 3 guys. That's when I kind of said something about Paul. Paul was the first guy for. Side note, Paul was murdered last year. And that spearheaded another piece of my healing journey to see his face come up on my profile. Because like I said, I forgot about the whole intermingling of family and this, and this. And so I had to go through a whole breakdown. Like I lost my goddamn mind all the way. I had about this much string left and God yanked it back up. And so trauma is real. And if we think about trauma, we think about the statistics, we think about the age that we're supposed to stop growing. I said this Sunday when I was in Dallas. If we do that, I'm 4 years old. Nala, you're 4. Misha, how old are you?
13.
Okay, so look, you're the grown up of the group, and that's a hard reality that folks don't understand. Folks don't necessarily hear this piece of us because statistics are just statistics, but we are those statistics in person. You are looking at us. I'm 4, Nala's 4, Misha's 13. And then you think of every trauma that happens after that, that shit blocks us back down. So we gonna make childish ass decisions. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I don't give a fuck. I like the color. I like the do puzzles because my trauma started so young where I didn't really have a childhood. And so that's something as adults, like now it's like okay to go to therapy, right? Now you got yourself in therapy, and it's like somebody dropped the ball on us. I know who I'm blaming. I blame my mama. I blame my mama. I do. She was the first person that was supposed to protect me.
Yeah, same.
And she didn't. And she didn't. And it was hard for me to even have that conversation with her, to show her and tell her how I felt. I was a whole adult though. I had joined the army and everything. I had came home on break and like one more lie kind of tipped it over. And I remember it was about some Timberlands and her buying me some Timberlands before I went back to Germany and this, and this. But my heart, I knew it was a lie. I knew it was bullshit. I call bullshit quick. But it spearheaded me to have these arguments. And so I had to go in. I had to go in and figure out like what was going on. And like tell my story to her and like tell her how I felt like she fucked me over. But then I had to hear that she had her own trauma that never got healed.
That's it. And accepting that. And once I feel like for me in my story, once I accepted once I was able to have my mother say, hey, I want to come and sit in a session with you. And just to hear her say, I did the best that I could. That right there just kind of put everything for me, because the things that I realize now, the things that my mom may not be able to express because of her own illnesses and things that was left behind, I just gotta like read in between the lines. So hearing her say that for me just connected a lot of dots in my puzzle, and it just really made things make sense. And I was able to say, well, breathe, take a breath and say, well, I can accept that. And now we can move forward because you didn't know. And then I didn't tell you. And then even when I did tell you at 22, you didn't know what to do.
Right.
And you were calling me. Literally, my mother called me and was like, I'm on the top of the hill, Good Hope Road, in a truck. And she saw him walk across the street. And she said, I want to run his ass over. What do you want me to do?
Run his ass over. That's what I was.
That was my gas hard. Run him over.
Hit that gas hard.
But I guess unconsciously something that I knew, because now I am, working in my journey, and part of my healing is definitely being in my word and getting closer to my God. Is that compassion was somewhere deep down in me that said, you know what, let him go. He'll get dealt with later. What comes around goes around. Something like that. Yeah, and that was it for me in that moment, because I didn't want to then lose another parent,
right?
To some crazy ish,
Hey, but
with me already having the feelings like it was my fault, because that was something for me that was said. It was like, well, it's your fault. Well, if I tell my mother, then it'll be my fault what happens to her afterwards, you know. In any of these cases, and I don't want to deal with anything being my fault. I can't deal with being my fault. So that wall that 13-year-old girl put up that I'm slowly breaking down is that, well, one, it's not my fault, but also two, you know, it is what it is. What happens happens. You know, you not keep it moving, you handle it. And one book that I read, one of those, what is it, the 4 affirmations, one that really helped me is don't take it personal. You know, and that's vice versa. I hope that what I say to you, you don't take it personal, because I'm going to say my truth and I'm going to receive what you have to say, whether I like it or not.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Nyla, what you was about to say?
Yeah, I mean, I had to learn, like, I was victimizing myself as well, because there was a part of me, like my mom passed away less than a year after I told her, and we had that exchange. There was a part of me that felt guilty telling my story, because it's like, I'm tarnishing my mom's name and she's passed away. But I had to realize that me telling my story is healing for her too, because I learned many years later, she was abused by the same cousin that abused my sister. And so she didn't know how to respond to that because nobody responded to her. So by telling my story, I'm actually telling her story as well.
And listen, I think all that you guys have said, is crazy how we as the victims end up having to be the bigger person and having to like not hold anybody accountable because they didn't know or they was going through their own stuff. And I heard you say, Misha, like it'd be my fault if my mom responded because I shouldn't have told her, and then I told her, and so whatever she do after, like you felt at blame.
Yes.
Listen, people, we blame ourselves more than the public can ever blame us. That victim blame shit that we do for ourselves is so much deeper than anybody else can ever do, which is why a lot of survivors don't come forward. But I definitely hear what you were saying, Misha, as far as like relationship wise for our parents, but also like that moment of like, I feel like every survivor or every victim, whatever status you are in of healing, we have all dreamed about that moment. If we see our abuser, what the hell we gonna do? Like I had all kinds of dreams. I was on some Saw trilogy type shit. I'm about to time up to a so-and-so and the guys that gang raped me and the men that raped me throughout the rest of my life, whether it was date rapes or druggings or anything else that I had to experience throughout my journey. I've always pictured what would I do? But then the reality is when I saw it, I saw a guy, one of my abusers, he was one of the 3 that gang raped me when I was a teenager. And my cousin and I, we saw him at a restaurant. And my heart was beating by the time she kind of told me who he was. And I kind of looked back and seen the faces and this and that. I was like, I should just like pick up this knife and stab his ass in the back of his neck. But then the human side of me was like, damn, he's sitting here with this little girl, sitting here with this lady that's probably his wife. He done went to jail and paid his part for society, but that don't erase how the hell I felt. But then at the same time, it's like I stabbed him in his neck. Now I go to jail. Now my daughter got to come to jail and visit me like I had to do my parents. So we take the blame. Which is so unfortunate. I want to just lift up some of these comments. Charity been in here deep with us. Right, definitely. Hey, Charity, this is my favorite hashtag right here, baby. That part. What you say, Anika? Generational sexual trauma is all too real and was hushed under the sand. Don't talk about what goes on in this house.
Oh, yeah, definitely. What happens in this house
stays in this house. I swear that had to be in that big Bible that every Black family has sitting on their table. That had to be on the inside. Next to the family tree. What goes on in this house, stay in this house. And as a result, the victimization occurred to us and to generations after us because the nasty ass pedophiles have been able to still come to cookouts, come to card parties, birthday parties, and the word is just, oh, where them kids at? Don't let them kids go in there with so-and-so. You know he ain't too tight.
Yeah.
Why was he invited? Why is he there?
That part. Why is he there?
Why is he there? Like, really? Why is he still included in family activities? Because just because someone chose to not go forward with the criminal side, which is a whole nother conversation, the family, the neighborhood, the community should hold that person accountable for their actions. Because otherwise, nobody say nothing. Guess what? The next victim is lined up because they don't stop at one.
Mm-hmm. And that
They
was
don't.
something. Mm.
Go ahead, Misha.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say for me and my journey, because it was my father and he had his, living situations. And once I found out where he was going to be living and there was a child there, I was like, well, let me do my part because it'll be who I wanted somebody to be for me. And just like, hey, I don't think that'll be a good idea, especially with that child in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
But then the backlash of that was, we don't want to hear that really. Or seeing my brother at a Broccoli City Fest and him even saying to me, hey, we need to have a talk about what you sent me. And I said, okay. Did we ever have that conversation? No.
Right.
Did you ever, I messaged you to say, hey, I thought you said you want to talk to me.
Right.
Which makes me think once again, telling your stories, telling other people's stories. So
yep.
Connecting my dots. 1 + 1 equals the answer.
And that's all we can do is our part. Mm-hmm. And today we're doing our part. Before today, we were doing our part. And letting, if nothing else, I want the folks that's watching to know that you don't have to suffer silently anymore. Mm-hmm. We got our own Me Too. Okay. It's not just the celebrities. In our own communities, we have our own hashtag Me Too movement that needs to be talked about because people are tired. We're tired of being victimized, re-victimized. All right. We're tired of being pointed out. We're tired of saying that we're lying because you didn't know. Like you didn't know because of the way your ass respond now.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't want to know. You didn't want it to be your problem. You didn't want it to be your problem.
Because that mind your business shit is paramount in our communities too. Yeah. Someone said, this is why these conversations are mandatory. So many people are suffering in silence, feeling alone when there's a community of people here to help them. All of that. Here we go. Charity again. The lack of concern is astounding when you start to bring ish to the light. It goes along with the victim shaming, gaslighting, and lack of affirmation. All of that. Hashtag that part right there, Charity. So listen, we're going to take a break real quick, and I'm going to jump into my girl, Jasmine. Hey, Jazz, help us out, sis. Help us out. Help us get a little bit of clarity. Yeah, welcome my good sis, Jasmine, from the retired Legacy Podcast.
Why you have to keep saying it like that?
Because y'all retired. Y'all
we ain't been retired for that long, but hello, everybody, and thank you so much for inviting me in your space and in your journey today. And one of the things that I wanted to bring with you guys is a little activity that we do call removing the mask. And removing the mask just allows you to reveal your true and authentic self and to be able to walk in your purpose confidently and in your truth. So, when you think about masks, we like to wear them all the time, especially at parties. They allow us to stay hidden. It allows us to be anonymous from the people around us. And it also brings us comfort. You might even change your mask to fit different situations so that way you can appear to be one way in front of people. So one of the things or one of the activities that I wanted to do with you was to help you to be able to shed or remove that mask. So that way you can start a path where you can uncover yourself by owning your own story, learning from your mistakes, accepting your gifts, letting go of your shouldas, your couldas, but didn't. So that way you can truly be authentic. And even though sometimes being authentic can be uncomfortable, so I would definitely encourage you to lean into it, get in tune with your emotions, and don't ignore them to ensure that you understand why you feel the way that you do. And number one, and that's the number one thing that I would like for you guys to do is just always make sure that you have a strong faith in God throughout your journey and your healing process. So one of the things that we're able to do, or one of the things that I will encourage you to do is create yourself a mask. So as you can see, I don't know if you can really see. So I have a little paper where I kind of draw the face with some eyes and nose and a mouth, and I just called it my mask. So I would ask all of you to just grab a piece of paper and draw a mask or a picture of a face. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can just be a picture. And on the front of it, I want you to write some adjectives or words that you display to the world. Like when you go out to the world, when they look at you, what do they see? So for some examples that I do have is someone may appear to be strong. They may appear to be confident. They may appear to be very calm, very put together, very affectionate, indifferent, can care how things go left or right. Or, all of those things is what they can appear to people when they see them. So as you write those words down, think about how you are showing up in the world. What mask are you wearing when you are encountering people? And then on the flip side of that, I want you to remove it. I don't know if you can see it. I want you to unmask yourself. And I want you to truly, truly write down how you really are feeling. If you're feeling scared, if you're feeling vulnerable, if you are embarrassed, if you are ashamed, if you are guilty, if you have low self-esteem, if you feel defeated, or, whatever those feelings may be, I want you to be true and be honest with yourself about that. Because the whole goal of the activity is that I want you to be able to show up on this unmasked page. I want you to be able to show all of this up to the world and realize that it's okay. It's okay for me to feel weak. It's okay for me to feel helpless. It's okay for me to not be put together. And then I'm going to figure out the tools during my healing process to where though I can turn all of these true feelings that I have into the real look that I want it to be. So I can fake all day that I'm confident, but if I'm truly not confident on the inside because I still have a lot of trauma and problems that I'm dealing with, I'm not being true to myself, regardless of what someone else may think. Am I truly being true to myself? So if you're not, this is definitely a really good activity for you to try. And again, is 1 day at a time, is 1 minute at a time, is 1 hour at a time. Our healing process, our journeys can take as long as it needs to. Always make sure that you are showing compassion to yourself, that you are being kind to yourself, that you are true to yourself, no matter the situation, no matter what it is that you may be going through. Definitely make sure that you are showing up as your true and authentic self, because that's going to be the best you. So I want you all to be removing those masks, okay, and just showing up as you, hurt, broken, whatever, and all, until you can get to be what the mask was and is no longer a mask, is now truly your authentic self. So that was what I have for you guys today. Again, I wish all of you guys the best on your journey, and the best of luck. Again, use all of the resources that you guys have available. You do not have to go through this journey or this healing process alone. You have some amazing women who are helping you, amazing resources. So please take advantage of all of those things.
Hey, sis, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Hey,
You're
we had some
welcome.
comments come in while you were doing your exercise. I
Sure.
want to just share them with you for a little bit. All right, we got Nicole Fogg, which is one of our clinicians over there in the Zoom room. If you guys need to talk to her, from 904 Wellness. All right, the intergenerational transmission of abuse and trauma is real.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Anika, another one of our clinicians from Writing on the Wall. She's over in the Zoom room. Here's the link if you guys need the link with the clinician. All right. This is recorded. It's going to be on Facebook. It's going to be on YouTube. You guys can always come back to it. But we want to make sure that you know that there's someone over there waiting for you to have a conversation so that you no longer have to try to suffer silently.
No,
All right.
not
We
at
got
all.
one more comment too. Nicole says, walking in your authentic self is the most liberating feeling. You feel empowered and self-assured. Hey, all of
Absolutely.
that. Oh, hey, our clinicians is on it. They is on it. Look, show compassion to yourself and celebrate the small wins. Hey, that one right there, that
You
needs to
have
go on a
to.
t-shirt somewhere.
It do.
We have to give ourselves grace, ladies and gentlemen, because we have to think about the trauma. Like we said earlier, I'm 4, Nyla's 4, Misha is 13. So we have to give ourselves grace that we are walking in this adult ghetto ass life when
Hello.
we started at the age of 4. So
Yeah.
give yourself grace. Others give people grace because you never know what somebody is suffering with. All right. So thank you, sis. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, before we get move on to anything else, I want to give y'all a second to go and grab your yoga mat. We about to come up with another yoga, a grounding situation. So I need you to go grab your yoga mat right now, or ball up the towel, put it behind your neck, or whatever you need to do. I mean, we know everybody ain't got yoga mat, so lay on your little carpet and put your feet up. Well, she'll tell you. I'm not the expert. So listen, we're gonna share a video about one of my good sis, Miss Zoa Hart. She sent over a video for us, and so I'm gonna go ahead and share it. I'm gonna try to do it the same way I just did Shelly's. If not, you'll see my ass again, and we'll be rewinding. So hold on a second. Let me see if we can get it right the first time. Mm-mm-mm. So, like I said, if it ain't worked the first time, I was gonna be back. So hold on, I'm coming. Let me figure this out. Hold on. Let's try again. I keep forgetting to click this little button at the bottom. See, you goofy as shit. Hold on, here we come. Hey, hey, we're gonna try one more time. Hold on, people, because this technology is messing with me. They making it seem like I don't do this every week. We're gonna try one more time. If I can't get it to go, we're gonna go to something else. Be patient for me one more time. Hold on, let me figure this out. Is it better? Still no. Everybody's still saying no. All right. So listen, we're gonna come back to it. I'm gonna try to come back to it at some point. My apologies, Zoa. We're gonna get it in there though. We're gonna get it. So let me bring back my good sisters, Miss Nyla and Miss Misha. Listen, I don't know what happened just now. Um, I really wanted to show that video. I'm have to figure out another way to do it. Um, oh, we got some comments, so I want to make sure we lift up some comments. Anika, she wore her scars as her best life. A stunning dress made of hellfire. Anonymous. Thank you, ladies, for walking your on the stunning beauty of finding your voice. Hey, we received that. We received that. We received that. Thank you, sis. I want to read something before we get into this next thing. Let me take Zoa's banner off and let folks know why they're here. Welcome back to the T. Pearson Experience, ladies and gentlemen. This is my second virtual event. The day is shine. Only the resilient survive. Shine. It stands for support, healing, information, nurturing, and empowerment. That was our goal for today. That is our goal for today. To support, heal, inform, nurture, and empower each other as well as others. So thank you guys for listening once again to this conversation that my sister Nyla and my sister Nisha and I are having about our sexual trauma. And so listen, I got another question for you. Before I get into it, I want to read something. It says, in the cycle of sexual abuse and abusive adult relationships, the noted psychologist Elizabeth Hartney proposes some of the reasons why victims become victimizers. In an attempt to heal and reclaim power and control, they take the opposite, seemingly more powerful position as the abuser, or they feel grandiose to counteract the feelings of inadequacy, strange though it may seem, and therefore may have a hard time respecting others as equals. They may be sexually aroused by abusive behavior and the intensity of emotions evoked by forbidden contact. So I have another question. Audience, you let me know if this is a myth or a truth. Survivors always become abusers. We'll wait. Survivors always become abusers. Is that a myth or a truth? We'll wait.
Let's see. You got anything?
Is it a truth or a lie? What you got on your thing? Anybody answer?
No, let's see. I have a myth. Somebody said myth.
All right. We got a myth. Yep. Yep. So it is. It's a myth. And so it says that it is reported that 30% of survivors of child sexual abuse will become perpetrators themselves. However, this risk is significantly reduced if the survivor receives help. For this reason, the stigma surrounding this important subject needs to disappear. Everyone needs to stand up and help children find the healing that they need after abuse. It is possible to break the cycle. And that is what we happening here, right? Because fortunately, what we know is that a lot of this stuff is reactionary, right? And so it's like get help after the abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So like you got to go through some shit before you can get some help.
Mm-hmm.
So these conversations that we're having even today, and folks are having all over the world today in honor of Denim Day, is to try to prevent something from happening.
Mm-hmm.
So it is that good touch, bad touch conversation. But also, like, name the body. That's what they call. Because if somebody comes to us and sold my book, baby, what are we looking for? Talk to your children about. Talk to your children with them. So right here we go. Yes, break every chain. Hashtag right charity.
Yes.
Right charity. Right. I knew my voice was going in and out. I thought my headphones was in the whole time, but it wasn't. But basically, what
Okay.
I was saying is that it wasn't y'all, it was me.
Okay.
That we need to kind of break the cycle. We're breaking the cycle now of having this conversation so that this does continue to be a myth, so that survivors don't always become abusers. But what we wanted to do is have a conversation about this stigma and like, how do we feel about it? Because we're on the other end. You know, the R. Kellys and the Goldbergs and all them, little Tyrone, all them from the people we knew growing up. We knew the R. Kellys. They was called something else. They was called somebody else. And so, how do we feel? How do you ladies feel with this stigma? And like, what does it look like for you to kind of be on the opposite side of that stigma?
I will definitely just go ahead and start with, for me, I guess I was just a little bit abusive, but um and it came out of me not abusive and angry, and it came out of me not understanding myself and understanding too that I could change the situation. I have the ability to change my situation. And so with one of my first ever girlfriends, once I finally decided to come out the closet, um it became a very abusive relationship. And when I thought back to it literally last night, like, have I ever been abusive and things like that? I will say, that I had to look at that situation and correct myself in a way. Because, like I said, it was more so of me not knowing that I could change my situation. And I thought because this person, I was attached to them, this person who said they loved me. And yes, they showed it in a way that wasn't like they were harming me sexually. So, but anyway, on the other side of that, being the healed person, I mean, I would never want to hurt someone, especially hurting someone in any type of way, but sexual abuse, all of those things. So much so that even with my work, when I go to cut someone's hair, I'm always like, okay, well, I got to cut here. So, excuse me while I go right here. And is it
Consent.
okay? Or, asking for that consent as well, brushing off the back, whether male or female. I'm just asking for that consent because little things that we do, they can be, little things can be taken for granted. We never know how something small to us, just touching you on your shoulder, can be something different. You didn't ask to touch me. And so I'll just share this last thing too. It was just a funny thing, being out with a friend, and this guy came over and he like smacked the back of the seat that she was sitting in, and I got really, really upset and was just like, sir, like, what was that?
Right.
Like, what was your intention behind doing that?
Right.
So I think definitely that stigma is definitely just ultimately being changed for sure, because at the end of the day, I feel most people don't want the things that happen to them to continue to happen. Same with like parenting. You didn't have a parent in your home, so I know a lot of people that are trying to keep the family thing going and being cautious of who they're sleeping with. So I think everything is changing, but definitely the stigma on abusers become abusive or abusing. We get it.
Right.
It's not
Right.
that.
Hey, look, thank you, man. Listen, and I think for me, or Nala, you want to talk first?
I'll talk.
Okay, let me pull you over here. There you go.
So this might come across a little crass, but
We don't give a
somebody told
damn.
it to me,
Say it,
and I had to
say
keep
it
it
how you
real.
say it.
They told me it wasn't your fault, but your healing is your responsibility.
Ooh, say that
My
again.
thing is, there's no excuse for R. Kelly. It wasn't his fault, but his healing was his responsibility.
Say that again, Nala.
It may not be your fault, but your healing is your responsibility.
Yes, it is. This thing is messed
So,
up.
I wish that there wasn't so many victims that R. Kelly had, but he needed to get help and he didn't. And if you do not get help, you might end up like that. It is your job to get help. You can fight it. But you have to take responsibility for the fact that even though you were the victim, and I'm not saying that you were not the victim, I was the victim, we were the victim, you were the victim, you are responsible for your healing. At the end of the day, no one can force you to heal. You have to go after it.
Hey, and listen, I'm here for all that. I'm here for all that. And what I want to go back to actually what you said, Misha, about like you didn't want to hurt people because you knew that you had been hurt. Let me put it up to where all of us is on here together. Hold on. But see what I found out when I go to my little classrooms and I talk to the little third graders, I had them play heads up, 7-Up, right? And so they put their head down, and I asked a couple different ones, but one of them was like, put your thumb up if you ever been bullied, right? So they put their thumb up, then put your thumb. So then I said, put your thumb up if you ever was a bully, right? Damn near the same kids put their thumb up. And so then once it was over, I had them put their heads up, and then we did a raise your hand situation. Raise your hand if you put your thumb up to being a bully. They put their hands up. The same kids put their hands up to being a bully. So then I asked them, I said, but why? Like, why would you be a bully if you know what it's like to have been a bully, being bullied? And the little boy basically told me that hurt people hurt people. And he basically was like, I wanted somebody else to feel the same the pain and the embarrassment that I had. because then he felt like he was the bigger guy, right? But that goes back to what you was just saying, Nyla, of like getting the help though, right?
It's responsibility.
And so, like, if you're getting bullied, that's why we tell people, if you're getting bullied, go talk to somebody. Because if you don't and you sit on them feelings, that person grows up to be a bully. That's what the statistics say. It's the same damn statistics with us. But I want people to be able to uplift the fact that, you know, a lot of attention goes to the people that's on that flip side of that coin, like the R. Kellys. But like I said, we keep saying R. Kelly because he's a celebrity, but we got a lot of these damn R. Kellys in our communities, in our families, in our houses, in our churches, and you praying for these spirits or whatever to go away, but you leaving them around all these goddamn kids in the process. So the person that's doing the molesting and doing the raping and the fondling, and the person who knows about it that ain't doing shit, I feel like you need to go to jail too. I feel like if you knew about it and you ain't do nothing, you need to go to jail and face as many counts as you knew about that you didn't do shit. But
yes, because you got to take some type of, and that's what something for me with the whole not telling someone. It's like, because now it's their responsibility. Now you put it's your responsibility, and you could do the best that you can, you know, and that's really all that you can do. But definitely trying to get down to, you know, the best help possible, even if it's not for that situation, at least for that person, so that they can become a better person for themselves and live their life. I did want to touch on just the changing the mask to fit in that the young lady in her
Jasmine,
talk, she said, and that was something really, really big for me, because for a while I wasn't being my authentic self. Ooh. I was trying to be everything else because of, yes, what people saw me as, the strong, smart person, you know, all these different things. And so that led me to, like I said, faking it to make it. One of my mom's favorite ones, faking it to make it. But then I'm being this whole person that I'm not. And now I'm all the way into a situation, and I had this awakening, or not situation, my marriage. And it was just like, wait a minute. The reasons why I got with you are not the reasons why I should have married you. And so having to let that go was definitely a big step for me. But still holding on to the friendships outside of it. But another whole thing, but definitely that changing the mask to fit in, because I was really trying to be somebody else. I thought people saw, you know, the molestation all over me, the low self-esteem all over me, the insecurities, and, you know, all those things. I thought they saw all of that over me, so I had to be something else and do something else. You know, get the college graduate, because it made me look better, because I dropped out. Like, so I appreciated her for saying that. But now I'm wearing my own mask.
And listen, that mask activity, that's why I wanted her to do it today. Because even when I did it, the first time I seen them kind of run through the exercise, it's so much that we realize about ourselves. I definitely know I've been wearing a mask for years. People was like, oh, you don't look like what you've been through, bitch, because you don't see me crying in the shower. Right? And so coming to terms to our true authentic self, that's a process. And I need people to understand, we need people to understand that it's a process for us, because we're learning how to live through our trauma that we're processing way down the road as adults.
The guilt, the expectation. Well, mine's is guilt, expectation, rejection, abandonment, worthlessness. Like, whew, every morning.
And that shit gets in the way of our whole life, though. It blocks out every damn decision, because for a while we weren't able to make a decision. You can't say stop, no, don't touch me. And then what about when you start to like it? People don't talk about that. Do that mean that we're not a victim because our body starts to enjoy being touched by a fucking stranger? Well, not a stranger, but somebody that ain't supposed to be. It doesn't make us wrong. It makes it that our bodies are human. And so what I also want to talk about is that folks don't understand the power that it takes to be intentional to not harm somebody else. It's hard. People are like, oh, well, he was abused as a child. Like you say, now that's his shit. He was grown enough To make all this money, he should have been grown up to sit his ass in a therapist's office
Mhm.
before he started to take this power, like the statistic said, and using that as a power. Like, now I'm gonna show somebody else. Or like the old folks say, it happened to me, but I'm fine. Then it's like, are you? Because you are, like I said over the weekend, you're a crackhead now. Because that's how you chose to deal with your abuse. Or you're an alcoholic, or you're a sexaholic. That's me. I was addicted. I'm a sexaholic. And that's because my body started having sex at 4. I'm 40. Some stuff you try to train your brain out of, and some of it is just like, come on, man. Do I want to fight the urge that I want to have sex, or fight the statistic that say I'm supposed to be abusing my own child? I choose the other, because what I'm not going to do, like us on here, we are intentional about not becoming the opposite side of that statistic.
Definitely. Don't want to be anything. Yeah, I don't want to be a statistic. I want to be myself.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that word intentional is so powerful, because part of what we're doing today is empowering people to be intentional, because so many people feel like, oh, I have no choice. And it's like, no, you just need to be intentional, but you need to be empowered to be intentional.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You got to. You got to. And so listen, with that being said, we're about to go to my good sis Brittany. She's gonna do a wonderful dance for us. Yeah, let me make sure she's know that she up. Britt, you know you up. And listen, don't go nowhere. Share this post. I appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody that has shared this post with everybody, that's done the watch parties, that's commented, and all of that. And so before we go to her, I want to read this. As Ayanna Van Zant always says, you have to do the work. The healing is necessary to move on. And with that being said, we're gonna pull Brittany up on the screen, and may you be blessed with her ministry. Brittany, we waiting on you, girl. We waiting on you, Brittany. I told y'all technology trying to shut us down today, but we're gonna rock with it. We're gonna rock with it. But while we doing that, let me see if I can share my screen again. Let me see if I can share my screen again, because I don't know what the heck just happened with that, man. Hey, Brittany. You said she was ready. Technology trying to shut us down, but we ain't gonna let it. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, man. You good, Misha? Look, Misha, like, damn it, I done came back. Listen, you good. We just try to get Brittany over here. Oh Lord, I hope she ain't dancing with her camera off. Hold on, let me call her. Lord, if she's there, you go. Listen, I was about to call you.
I'm sorry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Brittany Branch.
Go ahead. And it seems like it's never enough. And what do you say when your friends turn away? You're all alone. When you give and you all, and it seems like you can't make it through. Oh, I just stand. When there's nothing left to do, you just stand. Let the Lord see you through. Yeah. After you've done all you can,
When you don't know you can, and it seems like you can't make it through. Oh, you You pray and you cry. You cry again one more time. You cry again one more time. After you've done all you can, you just
Hey, Brett. Listen. Listen. Oh, let me get my ear. Yep, listen. I can't even get my thing together. Sis. I thank you. I so thank you. It was everything that I wanted it to be. It was everything that I wanted it to be. It was everything that God wanted it to be. And I appreciate you so much for using your gift. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, sis, I'm going to try to share this video again because we're about to go into some yoga. I think I figured it out. We're going to go into this video. So grab you guys yoga mats. We're almost finished. We thank you for sitting with us. But I want to get this video in because it's going to ground us after all that we've talked about today. And before we do that, let me go back real quick. Since I'm going to cut you, I'm going to bring you back. Hold on a second. Before we get into that, I want to talk about healing. I want to talk about what healing looks like for us. What does it look like for us? So we've talked about everything that we've been through. We talked about the hell that we went through. We talked about the processing because I don't believe in pushing through anymore. When you push stuff to the side, you got to deal with it eventually. So what I've been doing on my healing journey is processing each little piece so that I don't have to deal with it later. Once you process it, you can get rid of the shit. When you push it, you got to still recollect and go through it. So if you ladies could just share a little bit about what this healing journey has looked like for you guys. Because maybe somebody don't know how to do it. Maybe they need to know how we doing it because we ain't perfect. We're not perfect. But before we say anything, we definitely uplift therapy. We definitely uplift mental health support. We definitely uplift making sure that you know who your village is and what their roles are in your life as well as your role in theirs so that there is no false expectations. And also know who you are. Figure out who you are aside from the trauma, because the trauma has dictated how we move through life. And so now we're somewhere picking up the goddamn pieces. But share some of what you've been doing to get you through, just in case somebody else needs a couple more things to add into their tool belt.
I know for me, one of the things that I learned in therapy is having realistic expectations of healing. It's an ING, not an ED. That's one of the things my therapist told me. So, you know, there were areas in my life where I thought I was healed and, me being pregnant now and hormonal stuff started coming back up. So I talked to my therapist. I am on medication. It's been helping. I go to bi-weekly therapy. I also do a lot of art because that helps me to center myself and to express myself in creative ways. I talk about it with friends, family, anyone who will listen, because I think a lot of times too, like you said, when you hold it in, it doesn't go anywhere. It just manifests differently. So being able to just speak out my traumas whenever I feel it, that has been very helpful for me.
Good shit. Misha?
Here we go. Just piggyback off of Nyla, adding to the therapy was very, very important for me. For me, also with that therapy was medication. I suffer from depression and anxiety. So staying up on my medications, really do help me right now. As well as the healthy things, working on my diet is something that's helped me with my process, because I like this new slim trim Misha and I want to keep this up. Traveling definitely helps keeps me centered and definitely energizes me, because I am in a field where I am serving. I too get a lot of energy from people and hold on to stuff, being an empath and everything. So traveling, getting away is definitely my go-to. And as well, just when I need to reach out to somebody, picking up my phone and doing so. Yeah.
Listen, thank you. Hey, audience members, what do you guys do for healing? Because we already know that some of y'all out there share statistic with us. Y'all part of our family. We genetically we meshed, all right? So what are you guys doing for your healing? This is in a conversation. We want to make sure we can add as many tools to people's tool belts as possible, because what may work for me may not work for the next person. But if you have a list of things to pick from, something has to work. If not, reach out, man. Reach out. We're here. We're making ourselves available for you to help get you to a therapist, because we ain't therapists. And don't be trying to come over here and add no extra shit to my plate, because I'm already paying the copay. All right.
And self-medicating is not the way to go.
Right.
I know for a while before I started my therapy journey, or even knew what therapy was, accepted it, smoking and a little drinking. I still hate drinking, but smoking and drinking, even self-medicating myself with going out, being out with everybody else. But that is just what I realized from definitely the being out and being with everybody else was just a distraction from what I have to go through and what I have to deal with. But for sure, self-medicating is, I wouldn't suggest that, even though, like I said, that's somewhere where I did start. And moving forward, it's a little tweet, something every now and then, but it's with the help of, speaking to my therapist, and on top of that, taking my meds. But yeah.
Listen, we normalize it. we normalize. Listen, I definitely partake of the earth. I got a card. All right. But it's not
for Alabama.
Right. Listen, Alabama, come on, catch up.
It's gonna be
listen, it is not. I'm glad you hit that. Self-medicating, because a lot of us do it and we call it something different, but then it's really us just trying to cope. Mine was comedy. Mine was cracking jokes when I felt uncomfortable, cracking a joke, and like what do you call it when you deflecting the conversation off of me. I mastered that. All right. So we also got some other things, some other comments. First of all, Britt, everybody loved you. They was all over the watch party saying you better dance. All right. We got pray and meditate. We got meditation, medication, and therapy. I know that's right, Miss Iris. Alexia, pray and meditate. Dee Dee, what you say? Meditation is key. We got some other comments. Let me see what we got coming in. Reaching out to my soulmates, my BFFs when I'm in a shame storm. Ooh, Charity, a shame storm, baby. That's a whole word. A shame storm. Ooh, reaching out so somebody can snatch your ass back to reality. Taking it day by day, moment by moment some days. That is so true.
Yes, it is.
That is so true.
Definitely moments by moments with me.
Listen, mine is second to second. Your ass don't know. But listen, I'm going to tell you.
Getting up out of bed is always hard.
Baby, that part. Okay. I'm gonna try to share this video one more time because I want y'all to be able to get this grounding. So we're gonna see what it do. Grab y'all yoga mats because I'm gonna play this goddamn video. Hold on. 'Cause my good sis took the time to share it, and I want to make sure that you guys get it. So be right back. Share audio.
Video for grounding asanas. Get your water, get your mat, get your space, and let's go. So we're going to start at the top of our mat, placing our feet firmly in our mat. Grounding asanas help you feel connected to the earth, make good decisions, feel connected to your intuition, and just really be able to listen to the voice in your head. And this is why we practice these. Okay? Also, help you stay in your body and feel properly. All right, so you're gonna come to the top of your mat. The first asana we're gonna practice today is mountain pose. Firmly place your feet on your mat, arms at your side, eyes facing forward. You're going to inhale, lift your arms up above your head, and raise your eyes towards your thumbs. Exhale, clasp your hands together, and bring them back to your side. Let's try this again. Inhale, lift your arms up over your head and gaze at your thumbs. Clasp your hands together. Exhale, lower your arms to your side. One more time. Inhale, lift your arms up over your head and gaze at your thumbs. Clasp your hands together. Exhale, lower your hands to your side. Good job. Our next grounding asana is yogi squat or malasana. So spread your legs hip width apart. Bend at the knees and lower your buttocks down to the mat to a squatted position, placing your hands into prayer. If you need to, lift the back of your heels up to keep yourself balanced, then that's fine as well. If you need to put a block or a blanket under your heels, then that's fine as well. If you are not able to balance, use the wall to hold you up and gently lay your back against the wall so that you can get your even footing until you feel comfortable squatting in this pose. Okay, let's try that again. You're gonna spread your legs hip width apart. Inhale, lower down to the mat, bending your knees. Place your hands in prayer and exhale into your squat. Let's stay here for 5 breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through your nose. Practice that. If you're finding yourself having difficulty doing that, and just practice it. One more good deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Good job. Come to a standing position on your mat, and then come to the front of your mat. The next asana we're going to practice is tree pose. Tree pose is a balancing asana as well that helps you get grounded. You're going to lift your right leg, place the foot either above the knee or below the knee onto your left leg. And then place your hands together in prayer or at your side. This is not about perfection. This is about grounding and balancing in this pose. All right, let's try that again with our breath. Then place your leg on the inside of your left leg. Place your right leg on the inside of your right leg, either above the knee or below the knee. Placing your hands in front of you in prayer or out at your sides. Let's try that again with our breath. Okay. Inhale, lift your leg up and place it on the inside of your leg. Exhale, place your hands at your side or in prayer at your heart center. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Don't worry if you're a little shaky. This is not about perfection. This is about growth. Inhale, exhale. Good job. Place your foot on the mat. Arms at your side. And let's do our left leg into our right leg. Inhale, place your right leg either below the knee or above the knee. Turning your thigh and knee outward. Arms either at your side or at the heart center in prayer. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe through your body. Inhale. Exhale. Just send the breath down through your legs. Inhale. Exhale. Good job. Bring your foot down to your mat. And then we'll work on our last and final grounding pose, which is child's pose, and one of my favorite poses. You're going to come down to a tabletop position on your mat. Let's turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Lay your buttocks on your feet. Lay your chest down and extend your arms out in front. This asana opens your chest, arms, hips, and grounds you as well. Come back to a tabletop position, and we're going to do that with a breath. Inhale, lower your buttocks to your heels, opening your hips. Exhale, extend your arms out in front of you, laying your chest on your mat. Enjoy this. This is a good stretch. One more good deep breath in and out. Come back to your tabletop position. Bring your legs to the front and sit in seated pose, easy pose. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this helped you tremendously in grounding yourself and getting connected to your possibilities. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you next time.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Namaste and all that good stuff. We back from the yoga, all centered and aligned.
All centered and aligned. We here, baby. Let me bring everybody back up on the screen for us one good time. Let me bring everybody back that is here. And listen, thank you. I just want to say thank you, Mel. I'm gonna let you do the formal stuff, but I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody. The other Nicole Lee, I think her signal dropped off, but Britt, I love you. Zoa, I love you. Shelly, I love you. Anika, I love you. Nicole, I love you. I love you. Misha, I love you. Misha, listen, Misha was my hairdresser back before she relocated. And through hairdressing is how me and her became connected and began to have a conversation. She's a dope ass stylist down in Alabama, and she come up here to the DMV to do. I always be missing the spots, but her hands are magical because her spirit is so genuine. And sis, I appreciate you for sharing your transparency with the world. Nyla, sis, we connected instantly on Monday. And I know that this is definitely not going to be the last time that we connect and be able to do something like this for our journey and for everybody else's journey. But I welcome you to my village, sis. I appreciate your transparency today and being able just to share some of yourself with the world. Damn, I say about 15 times. My grandmother gonna kill me. But
Senior gonna get you.
listen, she gonna get me. I just definitely look. She's still sweating. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I got a fan for you right here, sis. Got a fan for good Brit over there because she gave it to us in that dance, and I'm just so humbled, man. I cried good the other night just thinking about the healing that was going to take place today, not just for myself, but for everybody that participated and everybody that was in the comments, everybody that did a watch party. I've been keeping track, and it's been shared numerous times because you just don't know what somebody else may be going through, and you don't want to block somebody's healing by your ass not hitting share. So it doesn't cost you anything. You're not paying real estate on Facebook. So hit that share button and paste it to your profile because somebody needs to hear what we said today. Somebody needs to hear that poem. Somebody needs these yogas. Somebody needs to connect with these clinicians. Somebody needs to see this dance and hear this conversation. So don't block somebody else's healing for your ass being lazy. So hit the button. And sis, I'm gonna let you go ahead and do with the formal stuff. Let me drop this link. All right, I'm about to drop this link. Yep, I'm gonna drop the link.
Okay. So of course my nose gonna start running as soon as it's my turn to talk. But I just want to thank each and every one of you for joining in tonight. We couldn't have done all of this without everyone being here. We appreciate everyone. We had a message that was heavy on our hearts to share. Just kind of was birthed in a quick conversation of, Denim Day, and it kind of went from there. Our good sis T, she planned this whole beautiful thing on a 3-hour plane ride. So we would be remiss if we didn't give a shout out to T. Thank you, sis, for always being transparent, for sharing your healing journey. I was just sharing with Nala, like I feel like I'm on a healing journey with her. When she tells her stories, I turned 4 years old. And it's just that real, true, honest transparency that some people need. Not that hush. Oh, we don't talk about that, and not sharing things outside our house, and don't be telling my business that whole thing, but that raw and real transparency to really meet people where they are and make people feel like, my story is valuable. My voice should be heard as well.
Right.
So that's so important. I want to thank our clinicians that took time out to donate their services to Ms. Nicole Fogg at 904 Wellness Avenue, Anika Tillery of The Writings on the Wall, and Nicole Lee at New Life Resource Solutions. So we thank each and every one of our clinicians for taking time out of their day to be of service to anyone that may be in need. Britt, we thank you so much. That was a powerful dance. Britt, I've known you 20 plus years, 20 years or more, and just every single time you dance is just like a vision of heaven. So definitely, I want to share a few resources with you guys. Where the resources go? Okay, National Sexual Assault Hotline. That's 1-800-656-4673. So that's 1-800-656-HOPE. So if you know of somebody, if you still experiencing some trauma triggers, you just want to talk to somebody after this live is over, after this conversation is over, that resource is there. If you are a member of the DoD community, you can access the DoD Safe Helpline for live 101 support. The service is confidential and anonymous, so you can call, say, I'm Big Bird and I need help. It's secure and it's available worldwide 24/7. And you can reach that line at www.safehelpline.org. So
That's it.
resources are out there for you. And today's yoga instructors, let's not forget about all our wonderful meditation we had. Namaste. Miss
Namaste.
Shelly Patney. She is
Patoni.
Patoni.
Yep.
Okay, Shelly Patoni, oncology and trauma informed yoga and meditation practitioner.
I don't know what none
And
of them letters mean, but that must mean something after that
it
name.
means something. Okay, okay. And Miss Zohar Hart. I mean, it took us a few tries, but we were able to finally get her meditation up.
Yeah.
Definitely enjoyed that. She is a certified yoga instructor and Reiki
Reiki.
practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
And you can reach her at Zoha.
Zoa means light.
Zoa means light.
That's it.
Zoa means light.com. www.zoameanslight.com. So
And
I want
listen,
to.
hey sis, I want to lift up something real quick. Then we're gonna get out of here. Y'all know I always got one last thought. I want to just thank everybody again because I need to. Mel, I need to uplift. I was on a 3-hour plane ride to Dallas.
Yeah.
And in that 3 hours, I planned this thing, not by
Yeah.
myself, but with the whole team. A lot of
Yeah.
you, the people that you saw today, I reached out to them while I was on this plane ride. I paid my $8 for my Wi-Fi and I sent out messages. And I just want to thank everyone for just responding. For UT, absolutely. And so I just want to make sure I say that again, that I really appreciate you guys because everybody got time. Time is money. These people got businesses that they charge for their services and they did it all for free or pro bono, as the nice professional word. The professional word pro bono for today because they support this healing that I was trying to convey to everybody, that we were trying to convey to each other because it's definitely not a me, it's a us movement. And I thank you. I thank everybody again. So make sure you get this information at some point tonight. I'll drop it all into comments. Connect with the clinicians, connect with the yoga instructors, connect with the resources that you need. Reach out to us if you need some more support. Whatever you need, we're here with you. For those of you that don't know who I am, I'm also over there with Coco Life That Black. All right. Coco Life That Black. So we are there. This is part of that cultivating community that we were talking about doing within Coco Life That Black. So I can't stop smiling. I'm excited at what today was. I'm excited and I'm thankful. And yeah, listen, follow Soul Survivor hashtag underscore 88. That's your good girl Nyla. We got the Misha Mills experience. And she got said I messed up. She about to tell correct. Go ahead. Go ahead. What I say? That's why you still on mute. Hold on. Not the box. Hey, Misha, unmute yourself.
I'm
There
mute.
we go. Was that on? Did y'all hear me?
No,
No.
we saw this.
We got
Oh, y'all
this
saw
now.
this?
Yeah,
It's
we
Misha
got
D.
that
Mills
part.
the experience. Yeah, Misha D. Mills the experience. That's me.
Hey, and this an
Facebook.
experience. Y'all think y'all got an experience with me? Get an experience with your hair, baby, and you gon' She was the first one to cut my hair and color it. You hear me? And so she's a dope ass stylist, man. I don't have nothing else to say, sis. Take us out. Cause I'm gonna do is keep on saying thank you over and over again.
Listen, all we can do is just continue to thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because that's all I'm gonna say. Man, it's just been an amazing conversation. The transparency, the lives that'll be touched and shared and changed by what was shared here today. And we just honestly, truly appreciate each and every one of you for taking your time out this evening to join us. And so until next time, you can like, share, follow us at the T Pearson Experience. On Facebook, Instagram is T_Pearson. And that's TEI. So that's T, the E and the I are silent. Okay. And it's definitely an experience that you don't want to miss. We appreciate you, as I said. And T, give us something to take us on home with.
I don't know. Y'all know I love this Murray. Y'all hear Murray? Can y'all hear it?
Yeah.
Hey, we thank y'all once again. We'll be back next year. We're gonna be back sooner than that because this is an ongoing conversation. Follow us on social media. Tell your friends, share this post because you don't want to block somebody's healing because your ass is being lazy. Hey, book your own T Pearson experience, baby. Have me come to your town and fuck shit up.
Okay. And
Hey,
that's booktpearson@gmail.com.
and that's on who? Murray had